39. I cannot believe what I have become. One of the girls escaped and I chased after her all the way upstairs. I hunted her down and... What is a life worth? How many lives can I take before I surrender my own? Sure, I would kill a murderer to save an innocent. But to kill an innocent, to save myself? A cold-blooded murderer.
Sometimes you just can't get completely satisfied with your work. This level is one of those for me. I tested a lot of different versions for how the electric tunnel should sound and for how the orb should explode. In the end, I think it turned out okay, but it was definitely not how I imagined it to begin with. With the tunnel, I tried to have it a bit mechanical, but also with a wooden type of rotating sound to connect the machinery to the center of the story. The same with the electric barrier. It is very easy to get into too much of a sci-fi mode with a modern electric humming type of noise, so I did my best to keep it like a simple electric malfunction sound. With the orb explosion at the end, or perhaps the implosion of the orb, it was important to have a sound that would work when standing next to it as well as being far away, because the orb can explode when you wreck the machine for the tunnel. With this in mind, it is a very powerful but very damp and dull sound when the orb breaks.
The energy stream particle system was a pretty fun assignment to work at. After thinking a bit about it, I chose to make it in sections and put them together using the level editor and script, as creating a so big and complex particle system would have taken a lot of time to pull right. This way, I just made the start gathering part that happens right at the barrier passage, a midstream part that is repeated using areas and synchronized using timers in the script so it looks like a single stream, and the end part, when it gets to the orb. Then Thomas added some more details, and this what you can see here is the result of that. I must say I like how it ended up to be.
beginning, this level was more of a mood level, with not much more to do than to explore it, find a diary and then continue on into the final encounter with Alexander. When I started my polish of the level, I felt that as the second last level of the game, it did not really build things up so well. It was too simple for this late part of the game. So at the start of the level, I've added a chase sequence where the Guardian is getting close to you and you have to run in and close the door. It's not a big addition to the level, but it gives that little feeling, I hope, that you are running out of time and that you have to push forward and face Alexander as soon as you can.
Of August, 1839. It's not fair! I'm not to blame! I've been manipulated by that demon! He played my guilty conscience and duped me into facing the shadow alone. That vile, conspiring man. He expects me to meet my death as he steals power beyond imagination? Alexander, I will kill you for what you have done. If only the shadow had caught me in London or Algeria, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. You made me a murderer. A monster. And now, I merely await my death. I am too weak to press on. I can hardly stand as my knees fail me. I cannot see as my eyes are dressed in tears. I am as broken as the men I've tortured. If only I could wipe my fear away, as we did with them.
There are a few music clips which include some choir singing words, and I must tell you that these words doesn't mean anything in any language, or at least I didn't intend them to mean anything. I used a sample library which has its own word building function, so you can have a choir singing words. And I just invented words which sounded cool. So don't bother to think what they are singing, that's a waste of time.